Hey WWE fans, be sure to check out the RCWR show live Monday nights on youtube.com/the RCWR show at 11:15 p.m. Eastern after WWE Raw for full fallout and review along with great live fan reactions.
I do want to do a little bit of a companion piece to what we had talked about live on YouTube, pretty much sharing my overall experience on WWE Raw with you guys. Yeah, for those of you that may not be aware, I actually did a Monday night, it was a late Monday night show at that, as really it was a Tuesday morning edition of the RCWR show live on YouTube, fresh as soon as I came home from WWE Raw. And oh yeah, I also posted really great pictures of what all I had experienced, what all I saw at the event. It's actually on our Facebook page right now. Head on over to Infinity One Productions. That's Infinity with an E. Infinity One Productions on Facebook. A lot of great pictures I had took of Raw. And one of the things that I had noticed was there was a graphic that came up on the Titantron that said Daniel Bryan is going to be returning at the WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view, except he's going to be on the kickoff or the pre-show, whatever hell they're calling it. They don't know what to call it. It's either pre-show or it's kickoff. But in either case, Daniel Bryan is going to be showing up pay-per-view night. Let's just get that out the way. And it was just, I know that there were a lot of people throughout social media that kind of took jabs at the DC crowd, saying that they were dead and all that. I was there in attendance, and I'm not saying it because, of course I'm gonna defend the DC, Maryland, Virginia residents because it was happening right there in the nation's capital. No. I don't care if you're from DC, Maryland, Virginia. If the crowd atmosphere sucked, I will definitely let it be known. But I mean, the crowd for at least, I would say 85 to 90% of the show was really into it. If there was any kind of quiet moment, definitely during the Usos taking on Harper, Rowan. I'm trying to think what was another quiet moment. Definitely when Rybaxa was doing their thing, it was kind of quiet. It was a very vocal crowd though, man, from the moment that I got there to the Verizon Center. And we were all patiently waiting for the gates to open so we could go grab our seats, grab some food. Everybody was vocal. Everybody was working on their chants. I mean, it was ridiculously insane. But I want to home in on that Daniel Bryan graphic, because that is definitely something that really stood out in my mind the most. I mean, here we were just about a handful of months ago, earlier this year, the final Raw going into WrestleMania weekend. Daniel Bryan got so much great love from the Verizon Center. And it's so funny how almost 6 months makes a difference, because to be there was no chance for Daniel Bryan whatsoever. I mean, everybody was doing their whole yes, no throughout the night, but when it counted the most, there was definitely no yes or no chance when that Daniel Bryan graphic had appeared on the Titantron. And it stood out to me for so many different reasons. One thing that I kept finding myself asking was, okay, so is the Daniel Bryan effect now over? You know what I mean? For those of you that's well, what's the Daniel Bryan effect? There was this Daniel Bryan effect. You have your Hulkamania moment, you had your Stone Cold Steve Austin moment. You had the Attitude Era moment. Ruthless Aggression moment. All these different moments. The PG era. A lot of different moments in WWE history. And we experienced the Daniel Bryan effect. I mean, we experienced this roller coaster with Daniel Bryan as he was chasing the WWE Championship. So many people were rallying behind him. So many people wanted him to get the championship belt. They loved that whole underdog story. I can't help but always go back to the Rocky franchise. And something that my girl always tells me from time to time whenever I deal with a bunch of bullshit from things related to the show or whatever, she goes, remember what Rocky Balboa said. It's not how hard you get punched, but pretty much how you get up and you keep going forward, always moving forward. And so I could understand and appreciate that story with Daniel Bryan making his move, having that journey to the WWE Championship. But you know, the $1,000,000 question that played in my mind, as I'm sure it played a large part in the minds of my colleagues and close friends, is okay, once he gets the championship, what's going to happen after that? Because that's what's really going to define his legacy as a WWE champion. And we really didn't see that much come to fruition. It looked like there was something that was going to be going on with Kane. Kane pretty much owning Daniel Bryan and all that. Daniel Bryan going out on injury, yada, yada, yada. We see that Daniel Bryan gets stripped of the championship, and I was very vocal when it had happened a couple of weeks back. I said to you guys, you know what? I'm for it, because I really just... honestly, I just did not like the way they were booking Daniel Bryan. They were booking him as a weak champion in my mind. It seemed like everybody else was able to benefit from Daniel Bryan being champion except the man himself. And for anybody that wants to challenge that, just go back, pull up some of the episodes that we've done over the past couple of weeks. You'll get great insight into why I'm making that argument. But now we're in a situation where Daniel Bryan, he's probably going to be coming back, and we're probably going to begin to see the seeds being planted of a Daniel Bryan return to in-ring action, probably by their next pay-per-view event. I think that's what WWE is doing right here with his appearance at Money in the Bank. But let me say this. I think right now, the fans have embraced the future of WWE as far as a future champion goes. I really feel as though it was really about the yes chance, the no chance that was getting over with the WWE fans, not so much as Daniel Bryan. And it kind of goes back to certain moments that you see on your favorite WWE main programming where you're really enjoying a great match, or maybe there's a segment that just isn't quite going right. The WWE fans, they want to get themselves involved. And how do they get themselves involved? They do the yes, they do the no chants, they do their little CM Punk chants. They feel that by doing that, they're being part of the show, and they're somewhat kind of hijacking the show and all that. That's all fine and dandy, but I tell you, WWE is going to have a really tough road ahead of them, because for there to be no reaction for Daniel Bryan when that Money in the Bank graphic popped up, I'm hoping that maybe it was just somewhat of a off night at the Verizon Center. Maybe DC had it wrong. And that he does get mad love, not only in Boston, but future events that WWE is going to be doing. That's going to have him be part of it. Because if Monday night at the Verizon Center was any indication of a taste of things to come, WWE is going to have a very long and tough road ahead of them, especially if they want to try to make Daniel Bryan be the champion again. That's just all I have to say with regards to that. I just want to let you guys marinate on that. I'm actually going to have this excerpt be available on YouTube. You guys can just have at it, comment. Maybe I'm off on this. Maybe you don't agree with a lot of the things that I said right there, but I have great concern for Daniel Bryan's return to the WWE promotion, because right before he left, it really looked as though he was, if not the number 2 babyface, maybe equal to John Cena. You know that guy's merchandise had to have been selling. I mean, I can tell you that like the top 3 pieces of merchandise that I saw on WWE fans the most was Daniel Bryan, John Cena, and in some shape or form, the Shield. Speaking of which, there was a blonde-haired girl that had like the most wickedest tattoos, and she was actually dressed like the Shield. I just thought it was so creepy, man. There was a section of guys behind me that was ripping her a new asshole. They did not like the fact that she went as extreme as she did. I mean, she went hardcore. She even had tattoos similar to Roman Reigns. That's how hardcore it was. And the tattoos were real. That was the insane part.